them.
Listen, I'm a product of Toronto, and it's the best minor hockey system in the world, the best minor hockey league in the world. And Dickinson, I've heard from a lot of my buddies back home for years. You know, this guy is the next guy on defense. This guy is the next guy on defense, and he's been all of that, and he certainly was all of that in London at this point. And I think it's really good value here for the San Jose Sharks. I think we're splitting between either William and him. They couldn't go wrong. Yeah, Dickinson's a great selection for them.
Keith Jones, Daniel Briere, and the Philadelphia Flyers now on the clock. Of course, last year they had Mishkov fall to him. Some people, like you mentioned, doesn't want to touch those DHL players because it takes a while to get here. Well, now he's coming this year. As the Flyers make their way to the podium, we see more of Sam Dickinson's game.
And he's just that offensive player, too. So not only can he control the play, he has that time and space. He's able to make those smart moves and get into better areas to score. So a lot of goals, a lot of nights, pushing the pace, a lot of puck possession, just a great all-around game. So on pick number 11, you're very happy with yourself against that type of defenseman because that's a blue-chip #1 defenseman in 5 years.
The Toronto Maple Leafs drafted Easton Cowan from the London Knights, OHL MVP, playoff OHL MVP stud. You know who was on the ice a lot of times when he was on the ice? Sam Dickinson.
Well, there's some rustling going on at the Flyer table. I wonder if either a decision or are we thinking about a trade here or what's...
Let me check in.
Now Gary Bettman, someone has come up to Gary Bettman for a little discussion. You see Konechny, Verby, Tippett.
Let me just talk big picture about the Flyers and where they stand right now. I did talk to their GM, Danny Briere, last week. He knows they're going to take a step back this year. He's trying to soften the blow. But he told me he's very open to hockey trades, and it looks like he's working one on the road right now.
All right. Quick interruption. Leah Hextall, what do you have?
I will interrupt you with Sam Dickinson, the 11th overall selection, and you're going to join Macklin Celebrini in San Jose. What excites you about that?
You go straight to the hockey?
I know Mac a little bit, and he's just such an unbelievable player, and it's going to be special to be able to play alongside of him, and I just couldn't be more grateful to be a San
Is the
Jose
manager
Shark.
doing a trade?
Possibly.
For different picks?
Well, not for different pick. They might be doing a trade for an already established player.
As a defenseman, but you didn't start as a D-man, did you?
Yeah, no, I started my career, I guess, as a goalie. I was cut from the same team 3 years in a row, and they needed a backup goalie, so I was there for that.
So goalie didn't work, but defenseman certainly did, and congratulations to you for being selected by the San Jose Sharks. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Gucci.
Something's going on with the Flyers. I think it's pretty obvious they are trying to swing a trade right now. Someone's trying to move up to get this pick. As Daniel Briere, we saw him on the phone. The clock winding down. We're down to 12 seconds. So we'll see if they ask for Gary Bettman is patiently waiting by the podium, like the principal. So now maybe Briere wasn't able to come up with a decision. Now maybe they'll make the pick. Let's see. Again, we had no trades last year in Nashville in the first round at all once the draft got underway. So Brier's sitting back down now. So it tells me that they moved this pick.
And this is a tough draft because when I was doing tiers, so when you do like draft rankings with scouts, you do like tiers 1, 2, 3, ABC, whatever, up to 12. Very difficult to differentiate, 4 to 12. And then past 12, it kind of breaks open. So I think a team is thinking there's a player that they want, and can they make this deal happen? Because past 12, it's sort of a free-for-all. Past 20, I have to prepare 50 extra players.
Oh boy,
That's how
what's
open
going
this
on
draft
here?
is. So clearly causing a lot of havoc, a lot of conversation with Philadelphia. And it's probably a really tough decision.
Which one of those teams is moving up?
We said early.
And why?
We said early. From early, this draft got thrown into the blender. And that's really what's continued to show itself as this draft has continued to go along.
Briere back on the phone.
Yeah, just more on Briere right now because they were trying to move up in the draft earlier. Now it's clear that they're trying to move down or work something. I mentioned that they think they're going to take a step back, that they overachieved last year. They don't have a lot of salary cap space right now. All they can afford right now is depth guys who are good leaders. I think there's some momentum to bring Eric Johnson back. But last year we saw them dangle around Scott Lawton, guys that don't fit their timeline for winning, even if they're really good players. And
on my team tonight.
Danny told me that they're open to more trades like that. So I'd be curious if it's a roster player being involved
here. Well, we have a very trade horn that we're going to unveil, I think, here in Fear.
I agree.
They have a trade horn, like a goal horn we see at NHL games.
Oh.
We were here for rehearsals, and there's a trade horn. So we're going to get our first trade horn of the night.
City of Brotherly Love. I love the year they had last year.
Yes.
And just until they traded
going
Walker,
on?
and Sealer were great there.
Yeah.
Once they traded Walker, then things kind of descended pretty quickly down the stretch for them. But all of that to say, for Danny Briere, who I had a long talk with last week as well, driving on Highway 2 in Alberta, I can tell you this, they're still going to be patient. They knew they were out ahead of it last year. They're not rushing. They're not going to be rash. Him and Jonesy have a really good approach to how they want to build this, and they want it to be sustainable.
Well, they were scratching, right? And
Yeah.
you don't want to give up the future for just a couple of years.
Exactly.
They want to go that long-term sprint, and maybe this is part of it.
As Steve Eisman was, are the Blues looking up again? You know, you mentioned they're a team that's trying to retool. Maybe they see a guy that could be a factor going forward. We mentioned Williams.
I can't believe how he's falling.
I mean, he's just such
I can't believe how he's Williams player. I'm a big fan of his game and his personality and a young man. American born, very skilled, national champ. He's won multiple medals internationally for Team USA. I just can't believe that a guy like him hasn't been selected yet. And not limited to, but him specifically.
Trying to find another table where there might be some movement as we look down on the floor.
Texted a few people, and crickets down there.
You see St. Louis.
We don't have like the two cell phones, like the Kyle Dubas, two cell phones going. It's confident being patient as an organization. The NHL's allowing them to have a lot of patience with this. Usually they try to keep this thing moving here, so this may be a complicated deal.
Flyers have been a signature franchise.
Here we go.
Here they're in a tough way right now, but
I think paperwork has been handed to Gary Bettman.
Yeah. we have a trade, I believe.
Yes, we're gonna
Trade
find out
horse.
who moved up and what the price was to get this 12th overall selection. So Gary Bettman making the way to the podium. We need to hear the trade horn. And here's Gary Bettman at the podium now. And he's getting a hand up. Wait for the trade horn, Mr. Commissioner.
Trade horse.
Big moment coming. Draft history about to be made. The first trade horn.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we had a trade. Philadelphia trades pick number 12 in the 2024 NHL draft to Minnesota in exchange for Minnesota's own first-round pick number 13 and
So they're picking
Minnesota's
next.
own third-round pick in 2025.
Just
12 for 13
Oh.
and a third next year.
So the Flyers obviously have no one specific in
Minnesota.
mind.
Third pick next year.
You're on the clock.
Only moves out.